Hi, I'm John with Orange ModWorks, and in this series of videos I'll be going over how to install the various springs we have available in our store. There'll be some tips and tricks and just some general guidelines with spring installation. Okay, to install the spring in the Swarmfire, first remove all your screws. I've already removed all the screws from this blaster. Then remove the top cover, and don't forget to remove your battery tray cover. From here, work the shell apart, and if you have to, you can pry it with a flathead screwdriver. And now, odds are your trigger return spring is going to pop out, so keep track of that. You can go ahead and remove the trigger, you don't need it for now. And the battery tray comes loose, but you just leave it in place. What we're going to work with is this white housing. All of the moving parts are in here. So remove these 3 screws and set them aside. Then you can pick up the housing. Okay, remove your battery tray. And now we have to pry this apart. It's held together by these plastic tabs. There are 4 of them. So if you do the top 2, be careful when you start working on the bottom 2, because what tends to happen is they pop back into place just like that. Very careful. Alright, now that you've gotten this far, we need to get inside here where the spring is. So remove this piece, and there you can see the spring. This comes out pretty easily. You just slide it off, and you will have to pull out the entire plunger. Take note of this spring here. That will be important during reassembly, so don't lose it. So slide off the stock spring, set that aside, and this is a double power spring. And while you have your blaster apart, you might as well go for the air restrictor, and here it is. In some of the older Swarmfires, there was no glue, and you could just pull this apart. This one is glued. Now, you can use a Dremel and drill this out, or I've heard good things about taking this assembly and soaking it in near boiling water for a few seconds at a time, and then that softens the glue up and you can pull it apart. So I'm going to go remove the AR and I'll be right back. Okay, I just removed the AR from this, and I don't have boiling water, so to do that I took this pin and just hammered out the AR after drilling the white plastic on this side, which gets the spring and opens it up, but then there's still the orange piece. So to do that, I hammered it out and it shattered. So that was easy. Next, you're going to want to tape up or glue this hole, and I'll do that and be right back. Alright, now to cover this hole, I used a drop of super glue and then put a little square of tape over it, clear, like normal Scotch tape. And that creates, and then the glue sort of fills that gap, kind of like using a glass slide for a microscope, but anyway. And that'll create a really nice seal once that dries. So the next step, once you have your more powerful spring over the plunger, just insert it into the plunger tube and make sure the gears are pointed down, not like this, because they are going to sit on top of this gear, like so. And remember that small spring? The tab, this tab, is going to go in front of that spring, and it moves the plunger. Sure it's set on that spring. Alright, there you go. And the gears are all lined up. I'm going to put this piece back on. There's a flat spot here, which lines up with a flat spot here. And it turns that gear. To reattach it to the other half and line up this moving piece. There's a protrusion right here, which goes into this track, and these have to line up. And this is a rather large moving piece, and it's responsible for turning the cylinder. So it has to be in correctly. Okay, let's do it. Oh, also, this motor, motor head goes down in there. So aim for that. After much finagling, finally got this back together. It takes a while to line up, so just be patient with it and try not to lose any pieces. Now if you have batteries, you can function check from here, but as you can see, I do not have batteries. To do that, just load up some darts and fill your battery tray. Then you can just push on this little yellow button. So I'll have to test this later, but if it snaps back together easily, it's pretty much a guarantee that everything is set, because if something is out of place, it will not close. So now just line up those screw holes and set it down, and it holds itself in. Put your battery tray back, and then reattach the motor unit to your blaster. Alright, reinstall your trigger and move any wires out of the way. Put on the grayish blue section of the shell, and if there's any wires in the way, you won't be able to close it. Because all the moving parts are in here, if your shell's not going back together, it's almost certainly a wire in the way. There you go, nice and easy. Yeah, at this point you need to go ahead and attach, or screw in these screws that are covered by the yellow shell. Once you have all your screws in, reattach your battery tray, and you're good to go. Thanks for watching.